Okay, right then. Here we are, episode 6 of Offline.
We made it to 6.
We're moving forward quite fast, aren't we? Episode 6 already.
Yeah. That's because somehow we managed to we decided on one a week. I don't think we ever discussed that, Stuart.
No. But it seems to be working quite well for us at the moment. So we'll
it does. Yeah, I agree.
We'll do that, and I'm sure we've got enough subjects to keep us going for a while.
Yes, exactly.
As long as people get involved, I'd want to see people sort of giving us some topics and subjects and getting involved, visiting our Facebook page, whatever, and get some comments on there so we know we're on the right track, if at all.
Yeah, they've probably all gone away, Stuart. They're probably all sleeping and are like, who is this off
Switch them off again. Here they are again.
Still, we have a great time chatting.
Yeah, absolutely. So today we thought we'd have a quick talk about I'm going to say division sounds really bad, between men and women in agility. Or
I can't help laughing because we're gonna call it, or maybe call it, we haven't decided, where are all the men, and I'm still crying about that.
Where are all the men? Because it was from my point of view, I look at my training classes. We fill a week full of training classes, whether it be one-to-one or group lessons. And in my training classes alone, I only have two men regularly that come training classes with me, whether that be one-to-ones or groups. I
have 3.
So it just got me thinking, firstly, where do they train? Because there's a lot of them still competing. There's a lot of men out there competing.
Yeah, I think there are more men competing than when I first started now.
Yeah. So where do they train? Do they train on their own? Do they train in groups? Do they train in groups on their own? Just men, or is it, do they? Where are they?
I think it's fair to say that the ratio between women and men in agility, I think there are definitely more women. I don't know whether we've ever done, whether anyone's done a survey on it, but I'm sure there are definitely. If you looked at a queue, you would definitely see more men. And is it that women say, I might be wrong here, I might be completely off on the wrong track, but women tend to seem to be more active in going forward in trying something new within the public eye. And then men sort of, they're going along with their women, and then they think, oh, okay, we'll try that, blah 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 blah. Or am I completely wrong there? You're a man.
So I think,
how do you feel about trying something new? If someone said, right, okay, you're going to try this tomorrow, how would you feel about that?
So for me, I originally would have said it would have been quite hard to go out and just try. So, even now, even if it's not agility, trying a new thing, a new hobby, a new whatever it is always quite hard, I think, from my point of view, to go out there and put yourself out there. But also, I think there's what's the word? Instinct. I'm going to say instinct, might be wrong. But if you think about evolution from what we've been doing, hundreds of years, thousands of years, whatever, the men have always been the ones that have gone out there and got it, whereas the women have always sort of.
Stuart, I'm going to press stop.
No.
Go on, Karen. Men have gone out and gone what? What have men gone out and gone?
No, but basically what I'm saying is, instinctively, men were always the hunter-gatherers, weren't they? Originally, we're talking thousands of years ago. So what they do is men just go out and do what they do.
Provide for the woman.
Not for the woman, that doesn't sound right, but generally that's in their instincts, is to go out and do what they do. Whereas women spend a little bit more time nurturing, a little bit more time preparing, a little bit more time training, if that makes sense. So they're more coming from that sort of side. I don't think now, if we talk from a modern time, I don't think it's a man versus woman.
No. So what you're saying, and I do think that this is fair to still say, that men generally feel like they need to provide. I mean, we're talking potentially within a family, so they're generally And I still think that some men have that perception and some women have that perception as well, that it's the man's job. And I think that's a hell of a lot of pressure to provide within a relationship or as an individual. I mean, we're assuming that they're middle-aged people here, you know, we could just be talking about the single man, but yes, and I think that primeval, whilst we don't live like that in modern society, I think that primeval trait is probably still there.
Yeah, there's got to be some sort of instinct or...
and then women are more nurturing, and so I can't quite get my head around where that means that men are less likely. Are we saying that they're less likely to have the time? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, probably about time, but also I think that they... whereas women will spend a bit more time in a training group where they feel the need. I suppose feel the need sounds really bad either. This is going to get a lot more serious than I thought.
Bring it on.
But I think it's more a case of they have a bit more of an instinct to nurture and train a little bit more to get things right, to make sure that even if it's the dog, the group that they're in, everything has to be a little bit more prepared.
Okay,
whereas
so
a man will be more likely going right.
Yeah, I want to go back even further than that, right? So go back even further than training groups, okay?
Yeah.
What makes a woman, so I ran a night on Friday night, it was a mindset night without dogs.
Yeah.
And obviously, you know, one of the first questions I said was, why did you start agility? And, you know, 99.9% of the time people will say to have fun with my dog, okay? Now that whole group was an entire group of 13 women. Not that my men didn't want to come, but they just weren't there. What would a man say?
Why is that? Why have you got a group of 13 women and no men there?
I don't know. Perhaps they don't like me.
I don't know, but that's what I'm trying to get to.
I mean, I put it out in a general group. Maybe they were busy. There was someone that was going to come that didn't come. Well, to be fair, it was raining, but the women were there. The men weren't. No, I'm joking. But you know, why? So interestingly, if you put it on the flip side as well, you look at like the raw ends of a lot of sports. So I mean, top. So generally, in unisex sports, I think it's fair to say that more women start and are in the lower ends, and yet you'll get a higher success rate in men. Probably just been shut down by all the women there. No. But I think it's fair. I can't think of a unisex sport right now, but generally, if you look at the top, men are generally more successful than women. But more women start. Yeah.
So do you think? I think that might be a societal thing now as well, or back then, whereas the doors were open easier for men, or more for men. And
what, maybe at the top?
Yeah.
Do you think that still goes on? No, I think that's rubbish.
It goes on now, but I still think there's an element of that.
Yeah, but in sport you have to prove yourself. So oh, I don't know, this is getting deep. So right, firstly, why do women feel that they want to go and do something and men don't? I know that's a generic sweeping statement, but in general, we do have more women start. I don't know if we have more women dog owners. I'm going to put this there, right? I'm going to just say this. I think sometimes men are more self-conscious than women. 100%. So when I'm teaching, men in general, not all men, but men in general are more frightened. Not frightened's the wrong word, but they're more self-aware. They're more don't want to make an idiot out of themselves. Whereas
there's an element, I think, somewhere of again, I think it's an old, almost like an old society type issue, or an older issue, whereas men weren't allowed or seemed to get even if you go
So
down.
is it because it's not seen to be manly?
Mainly, yeah, maybe not manly or
masculine,
or masculine. We weren't as men supposed to show our fun side, our emotional side, we were supposed to be.
I think that's really sad, and I know
it is, yeah, and I agree, and
I
think things are changing now a lot, but I think at the moment, a lot of men, or some men, still have that. I'm not going to say they have that mentality where they have to live by that, but they still have that thought process, that thought pattern. As I can't do that because somebody will say something, or somebody will laugh, or something.
And also, and again, we are making this generic, and that is stereotypically people. There are a huge majority that don't fit into that, but and you do see more men, but are men more competitive? You see, I can't compare myself to this because I am massively competitive, like me, massively. But so men, when they do get into it, when they do get over that, see, I was just trying to look up in the lineup that I was at a show yesterday, and they were, I would say 80% are women and 20% men.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure I have the answer, but once they get into it, the drive in men, I've often said I should have been a bloke because I am quite driven, but then I'm quite an independent person, so maybe that's why, I don't know, but I'm quite driven to succeed, and I think lots of women are. I don't know. I don't know why they start.
I think I think it's a hard one to answer, hard question, I think. Excuse me. Men generally, I don't know, maybe they put.
Okay, you give your opinion as a man. What do you think?
So
I think women are overbearing. That's why the men don't go out.
Yeah, there is a little bit of that, and also I think maybe I'm just looking at my client base as it was, of the women, and most of them, not all of them, but most of them are sort of middle-aged to slightly older women. That maybe that it's a.
Well, that could be the whole menopause thing, because they do.
Yeah, maybe it's because they got more. They got more time. Because if maybe they're semi-retired, maybe they've always been at home. This is what I'm looking at. It's not what I'm thinking, it's what I'm looking at. Because most of my daytime clients,
I think women will find the time.
My daytime clients are all women.
Yeah, but then does that bring us back to the fact that men are providers? But then I work, and there are hundreds upon hundreds of women that work.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's right. Okay. Let's do it to something else, right? I do salsa. Okay.
Yeah.
So if I said to you, right, Stuart, we're going along to a salsa class, are you going to come? What would be your first answer?
I'll think about it.
Why?
Because it's something I've never done, and I suppose the same. I'd probably feel embarrassed about it.
Why?
Because I don't know.
No, just be honest. Like, what? So why would you be embarrassed? You're frightened of getting it wrong?
Yeah, it's something that I wouldn't think. Yeah, so probably. Yeah, I think that's more like it. Probably
frightened of like making yourself look stupid.
Yeah, and also what other people would think about me going out and dancing, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I use dancing, because I mean, there are a lot of men, but we do struggle to get men. Likewise, what hobbies do you do outside agility?
What do I do outside of agility? Running, really, my fitness stuff.
I do that now.
Outside of agility, I actually don't do a lot more of that, apart from watching TV, watching movies, listening to music. Those are my sort of.
Yeah. You see, if somebody said to me, right, go and try, I don't know, something for the first time, go and play Scrabble for the first time, like a Scrabble club.
Yeah.
I would generally, my first answer would be, yeah, I'll give it a go, unless it scares me. So like, unless it was like roller coaster and things like that, which I won't do. But I would generally go and do it. You know, just go and give it a go. And then if I didn't like it, and for me, if I'm not good at it, so that's my problem when I start something.
I think there might be,
if I'm not good at it, then I'll give it up.
Yeah, I think like I think fear of failure might be a bit of a thing as well.
Yeah.
Failing at it. And then not necessarily that you won't enjoy it, but the fact that I wouldn't be very good at it instantly.
yeah, that's me. Yeah. So you said that one of the reasons that you wouldn't do it is fear of failure, and that you would be concerned about what people would think, which I get, because I think we all have an element of that. So are we saying that maybe men have that more than women? Because men, you know, I know men that still think that to cry is a weakness, or to show that side, or, you know, if you turn around and you go like, you're talking, it's hard for men to show emotion, isn't it? So are we saying that that's why, because it's not cool, because they might not be good at it? And I don't mean that from an ego point of view.
No. And I think that's probably where we're coming from in the agility stakes, is that men won't go out there until they're not 100% ready, but they know that they've got a chance of succeeding.
Yeah, I mean, I know women like that as well. So is that what makes it? And I don't know whether this is true at the top in agility. I think the ratio is too high, but I know in a lot of, as I said, unisex sports, that people, that generally at the top, it's the men that are successful. Horse riders, okay, there are so many men that are successful horse riders and show jumpers and eventers, but you walk into a stables, like your general everyday horse owners, they will be 99% women. Or are we talking about money? So that, you know, if men provides, and do we still have the, God, this is really going off topic, but do we still have the fact that men earn more than women? You know, Maybe. so they can afford to get better, or they're more driven to get better, so that when they do get into a sport, they succeed more.
Could be. I mean, like I say, this is a...
What's your opinion?
So I think, we're still on that realms, I think, of men are earning more, or potentially earning more, which means they can put more money into what they're doing. So then they're maybe a bit more selective on where.
Do you know, interestingly as well, and I am going to say this, that I recognise this when I'm teaching, not so much in agility, because generally I don't get people that come in as partnerships, but in my pet dog classes, I will get in as a partnership. Very often I will encourage the man to train the dog. Very often they won't want to. And very often the woman is trying to push them, and they're looking for approval. Approval might be the wrong word. So why do women feel the need to do that, first of all? You know, in fact, like, oh, go on, you can do it. Is that the nurturing side that you're talking about?
Maybe.
And is it, you know, and even in my pet dog classes, some of my best trainers, interestingly, I'm just thinking about my class tonight. I've got a couple of pet dog classes tonight, and one of my classes, purely by coincidence, is quite male heavy.
Okay.
So I don't, and they make good dog trainers. They make flipping good dog trainers, and they're quite perceptive. I'm on a drive at the moment. You know, I do my franchise, don't I? I'm on a drive to get some men shadowing my classes to come and develop men as dog trainers, because I think, you know, a lot of men make amazing dog trainers, and a lot of men don't believe that they do. And I just don't get it. I just don't understand why.
No, and again, that's why I think we sort of brought the subject up, because it's something that we need to know, or not need to know, but it would be good to know where the men are.
Where are all the men?
Excuse me. Where do they train? You know, because I don't see them, you don't see them, and I go to workshops a lot with several different trainers, and on those workshops, very rarely are there actually men. And
interestingly, okay, so I go to different workshops, okay, not as many as I'd like to because I can't afford it. But if you, I'm just going to throw a few names out. You know, generally I jump on a workshop if Barry James was doing it, probably if Ewan was doing it. Obviously, Alan Bray teaches me, and then you know, and Dalton, you know, so that's five men straight away. Whereas I train with Stacey sometimes, I train with Bonnie sometimes, and sometimes Louise covers Alan. So even on that scenario, I am being trained by more men than women. So that's interesting. And yet I would say there are more women trainers than men. I told you I should have been a bloke.
Exactly. But that's so why is that then? Because I have the same sort of thing. So training wise, workshop wise, more recently than not, you know, you've got
Dave and Dan,
Dan, Martin, Dalton, Barry, you know, like say Ewan, Neil Ellis is up there, you know, everybody's training now. And there are some brilliant, don't get me wrong, there's some brilliant sort of women, ladies training out there, workshops that we go on, and everybody goes on.
And
but even on those workshops, when I go on a workshop, the workshops that I organise, if I get a guest trainer in for whatever reason, the last workshop I did, I was the only man on it out of 18
Do you notice it as well? So do you notice it?
Yeah.
And how does that make you feel?
Now, because I'm a teacher, trainer, coach, whatever you want to say, I don't really sort of get too bothered about it anymore, because it's what I do, so it's not a problem. But I can imagine walking in from outside for the first time, it would be awkward.
And the problem is, right, is how do you attract men? Because if you turn around, I remember you did like your men only membership, which I thought was amazing. And I remember that, and I don't know who it was, I can't remember, I don't want to remember, but there was a couple of people that were like, well, you can't do that, you know. And that's the thing. So for me as a business, I can go out and actively try and promote male, because obviously you're meant to hit the equal opportunities type thing, and I'm quite female based, so I can target that as a business. But if you went and advertised to try and attract men into your classes or to start agility, would that be considered sexist legally?
No, I'm gonna. Somebody did quote me when I started the gentleman's club thing. Somebody did send me some information about it, and you can promote all single sex classes without problems. And I can't remember what the actual legal.
And what would we gain from that, right? I mean, you know, this is a very hypothetical question, isn't it? But what would we gain? I think it keeps some of the women in order. You know, women are very opinionated. Women are really opinionated, and lots of women.
But is that not because they were kept down for so long, for years and years and years?
Yes, potentially. I mean, again,
so now they've got you know, it sounds really bad, but they've now got a sense of freedom almost, where they
and a voice, and women like to be heard. Me more so than lots, but yeah. So are we actually saying that although culture and modern day society has moved on, the primeval in us all is still very much there?
Yeah, there's still an element of, I'm going to say almost like a habit, really, or an ingrained. What's the word?
Or is it that men are more lazy?
Could be. It could be. It could be.
You sat on the fence then.
It could be. It could be. But yeah,
Or
I
the
think,
women or men are too tight. They'll go, oh, you go it. I don't know. It's just weird, isn't it?
I think
or
also
generally,
with agility, I think maybe men are see agility as being
for middle-aged women. My son was put off very early on. He got told off playing football once when I went to an agility show, and I've never got into an agility show since. He was only 12.
Yeah.
And so he would never go into it because of that.
Because it's not football, it's not rugby, it's not, you know.
Well, and he was told by women to go and take the ball away from the dogs.
Okay.
I don't know. You know, he wasn't. Don't get me wrong. He was playing in the field, but that's just one example of So yeah, I don't really. Maybe we can get some comments. Maybe somebody will start commenting on these.
Yeah, maybe we'll comment on this one because this is a good one because we have no answers here. I don't think we're going to get to an answer at this point, which is fine, which is brilliant because it gives everybody a chance to make an opinion on it. Because
I must apologise. Actually, I don't know whether I've got some building work going on outside. I don't know whether you can hear the banging. I hope you can't. But that's all right then. No. But yeah, like you say, why do more women start agility than men?
Yeah.
And why, in general, I'm not sure this is true in agility. I've not done the statistics. Maybe someone can do the statistics for us. But why generally do men succeed better at the top than women?
I think that was true a few years ago. I think it's changing slightly now, though. I would say. I think the level at the top is definitely, if not equal, getting slightly more women, towards the women. I think.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, because we're better than you.
No, that's what it is. I think it's because you take more time to nurture, and I think the ladies and the women that are coming up now have taken more time to train, nurture, and do what they need to do. Whereas men go in, they may be good for a year or two, and then when they stop being good, they stop.
I think we come to a natural end on that one, don't we?
I don't know, but that'd be a good one.
I think we have. Good to
get some comments on everybody. Get some comments and see what happens. We'd love to hear because we don't have any answers on that.
No, but it's great discussion. It's good talk.
Yeah, definitely. Okay,
fantastic.
So we'll leave that one there because that's left it wide open for everybody. So we'll leave it at that for now.
We're getting slated now.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Right. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Thanks.
Okay.
See you later. Bye.